You hear me in the back of the room? Morning. Great, thank you. Good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this morning's press conference on behalf of experienced Turks and Caicos. I am Trina Adams. I am the Chief Marketing Officer for Experienced Turks and Caicos, and I'm delighted to be here alongside our team who is responsible for driving the vision and visibility of our beautiful destination. Today, I'm very proud to introduce you to our newly appointed Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Paul Pennicook, who will be sharing a destination update and outlining some of the amazing and exciting initiatives that we have for the destination. I'm here with my team also, Ms. Stacy Cox, who is the CEO of the Turks and Caicos Hotel Association, as well as a board member of Experienced Turks and Caicos. We also have our PR manager, Laura Dowridge, who's here in the crowd. And of course, we have our destination marketing representation for the US market, ABA, with Claire Kuzman and her team. So without further ado, I will introduce you or welcome Paul to the podium to give the destination update. Thank you.
Thank you, Trina. I want to make sure this thing doesn't go down. Good morning. Are you hearing me there? Yes. Very good. Thanks again, Trina, for introducing me. If I may say so, just before I get into the actual destination update, especially for those of you who may not have been around last year, and are coming to hear something from the Turks and Caicos for the first time, you may be saying to yourself, why experience Turks and Caicos? What is experience Turks and Caicos? Well, to put a little perspective into it, you may know that post-COVID, the Turks and Caicos Islands did very well. We were one of the first islands to really rebound from the COVID experience. And so arrivals into Turks and Caicos in 23 and 24 were very, very strong. The government had a vision with such explosive growth taking place that they needed not only to market the destination, but to manage the destination and manage the growth going forward. In that regard, a destination marketing and management organization was established. That DMMO is Experience Turks and Caicos. And so we're here as a team from Experience Turks and Caicos to give you an update on the island, or the islands. Must be careful about that, by the way, because we are a collection of islands. We're not just an island. Experience Turks and Caicos was established in late 2023, and it was built on the pillars of inclusive growth, sustainable development, and competitiveness. Inclusive growth meaning our growth going forward will be of all the islands. We will get all the islands included, as well as make all the communities participate in and benefit from tourism to the islands. Sustainable development, that is to be done with recognition of the environment and other things going forward. And whatever we do, we ought to be sure that it's sustainable. And of course, competitiveness, we are to make sure that the island's products and the island itself, the destination, is competitive. We know we're in a very competitive marketplace, and so maintaining competitiveness means that along with the private sector, we will ensure that the services that are delivered are of the highest quality and that we maintain consistency on that. That is why a destination management and marketing organization was established. In all of that, in February of this year, there was an election. And so the new government is in place, which the government was re-elected, but the new government in place has resulted in a new Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Zhivargo Jolly. He could not be here with us today because we're in the middle of this year's budget debate. And so that's something he had to stay for. Those of you who understand how Parliament or the House of Assembly runs, the minister had to stay back for the budget debate, so he could not be here with us today. Of course, I'm new myself, although I'm not new to the industry, as some of you know, but I'm the new CEO for the Destination Marketing Organization. And we have recently re-established, if you will, our presence in all our markets by appointing marketing agencies. In the United States, we've appointed ABA Global. In Canada, we've appointed Vox International. In Latin America, we've appointed EM Marketing. And we have Paradise Promotions, who does representation for us in the United Kingdom. Another activity that's happening under this new direction, we are in the middle of, well, we have contracted a company to build a new website. This new website will be developed with AI functionality and even booking capabilities. And now to the performance of the destinations. For the first quarter this year, we have had 192,297 stayover visitors, which is actually a 2.3% increase over 2024. March had the highest number of visitors, 76,850. Actually, March saw a significant number of arrivals, specifically because March is the month of spring break in the United States. And so we had a number of arrivals in March. It was our highest month of the quarter. Our top source markets continue to be 1, the United States, 2, Canada, 3, the United Kingdom. I should also update you on the cruise aspect of our tourism. But before I do that, I want to re-emphasize the fact that Providenciales is the island that really our stopover visitors come to. Grand Turk, the capital, another island, is our cruise center, is our cruise capital, if you will. And so, the Grand Turk Cruise Center saw 107 cruise passengers in the first quarter of 2025, which was a 54% increase year over year from 2024. For that first quarter, there were 2 ships in port daily. On the airport, you may be surprised to learn that the Turks and Caicos Islands has 8 airports. In Provo, North Caicos, South Caicos, Grand Turk, Ambergris Cay, private island, Pine Cay, private island, Salt Cay, and Middle Caicos. We are indeed a multi-destination destination. And there are plans to upgrade some of these airports. As far as the Howard Hamilton Airport in Provo is concerned, the 2025-26 Congestion Alleviation Project has entered its second phase, and that will introduce additional boarding gates for international departures. The first phase of that congestion alleviation, the first phase expanded the upper floor of the departure lounge and installed a new security checkout point, providing for a more efficient security screening process. Final bids for the construction of a new passenger terminal at Providenciales, along with the expansion of the apron and the addition of a parallel taxiway, final bids were received in December 24 for this work. The evaluation is still happening, and you may wonder why, because it's now May. Just to mention, as I did before, there was an election in February, and you know what happens when there's an election, there's a possible change of government, etc., etc., so that slowed down the process. Now that the government has been elected and the House of Assembly is up and running, cabinet is functioning, the evaluation is back on the table, and so we should have a word very soon on who will get the bid to do the construction for the new passenger terminal in Providenciales. The Norman B. Saunders International Airport in South Caicos opened in March to international flights. We now have a twice-a-week flight from American Airlines from Miami into South Caicos, and it was in March that that airport opened to international flights. Phase 2 of that airport's remodeling will see the completion of external works, including a parking lot, landscaping, and other critical infrastructure designed to improve the airport's efficiency. A new terminal has also been designed for North Caicos, and there's now a domestic flight via Caicos Express to North Caicos from Provo. This is an alternative to the daily ferry between North Caicos and Provo. And now hotel occupancies. The hotel occupancy data shows that in January there was an occupancy of 70.5%, in February 71.4%, in March 72.4%, which therefore averages 71% for the first quarter. And the ADR averaged for the quarter $1,544. That tells you the quality of the destination, Turks and Caicos. The hoteliers are achieving an average rate of $1,544 per night in the first quarter. There has been a fair amount of activity in our hotel sector. In late 2024, we welcomed the opening of the Strand, 160 rooms, including villas, and the South Bank, 92 rooms. In March of 2025, this year, we opened the Soltera Resort, South Caicos, 83 rooms. A number of our properties have recently undergone upgrades and expansions. And this month, we welcomed our 9th Virtuoso property, the Ambergris Cay Private Island Resort. 9th Virtuoso property in the Turks and Caicos Islands. Coming on stream for 2026, Beaches, Treasure Beach Village, adding an additional 101 rooms to the Beaches property. Hyatt Anders, under construction, will be opened later on this year, 184 rooms. The Lauren at Turtle Cove, also under construction, 34 rooms. And then further down the road, in 2027, because those that I just mentioned, of course, were 26, Beaches, Anders, and the Lauren at Turtle Cove. In 2027, we expect the Kimpton Turks and Caicos, which is 192 rooms, that's currently under construction. The St. Regis Providenciales Grace Bay, also under construction, 162 rooms. Hotel Indigo Grace Bay, also under construction, 56 rooms. And on their website, the Kempinski Grace Bay Turks and Caicos is advertising that they will take guests in 2027. But I want to be sure to say that they are saying that construction has not yet started. That's important. You know, if I may get a bit personal for a minute, my first visit to Turks and Caicos, Providenciales, years ago, proved exhilarating. I found the beaches stunning. Grace Bay Beach was just to die for. That was my first experience when I visited Turks and Caicos. I'm now there, living there, and it has not changed. It is still spectacular. And the world has recognized that. This year so far, our beaches have gotten us numerous awards. USA Today, and I'm talking about this year, 2025, USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice Awards. The Bambara Beach in the Middle Caicos was adjudged #1 beach in the Caribbean. Grace Bay Beach was just listed at number 10 in the world's 50 best beaches. Grace Bay Beach was one of 2 Caribbean beaches that made the top 10. Our beaches in Turks and Caicos are to die for.